So hello and a warm welcome to our CARIAD panel. My name is Elise Pham. I'm press spokesperson at CARIAD, the Volkswagen Group's software company. Today marks a very special day for us at CARIAD. At 2 p.m. at this stage right here, we presented a world premiere. So maybe some of you have seen it. We launched a new level of digital in-car experience, the application store for Volkswagen Group. So now let's do a deep dive and to discuss together with our partners how we can, with an open ecosystem, enable the best customer experience. The App Store will be launched first in the car models of AUDI AG. So please, welcome on stage Björn Wischnewski, Head of Product Marketing Connected Car of AUDI AG. Then the application store will be based on the HARMAN Ignite store. So please welcome on stage Albert Jordan, Vice President HARMAN Ignite store. Our store will start with more than 40 apps, so we are very excited to also have two speakers here from app providers of apps that will be featured in our application store. So please welcome on stage Tyler Steben, Senior Product Leader with IBM's Weather Company, and Mithun Baphana, Senior Product Manager of Webex Mobile and Automotive. Last but not least, a warm welcome to my CARIAD colleague Sven Eckoldt, the Global Partnerships Lead for the Group Application Store. So thanks for joining our talk. Björn, why is it of interest for Audi to integrate the application store in your cars?
Yeah, so for us it is really a great day. So happy to be here, having launched the product together with you guys from CARIAD. And for us at Audi, it's very important to always put the customer really at the center of everything we do. So we listen carefully to what our customers tell us, and they told us that one of their biggest needs, their biggest desires, is really having their personal digital ecosystem integrated into their cars. So what they don't want is to be disconnected while driving an Audi. So they really want to use their favorite apps, their favorite services while in the vehicle. And in the past, we've done some Lighthouse integration products already. So we did Apple Music integration in Audi. We brought Amazon Alexa to our cars. We did Google PI search integration. But these were always like this one-on-one integration efforts that we did. And the App Store is really putting this to a whole new level, since it enables us to bring a much broader variety of services and apps to our customers, as well as giving us the flexibility to easily give them something new over the life cycle. So every time they enter the car, there's a chance that they discover a new app, a new service. So that's great for us.
Okay, thanks. Yes, Sven, you and your colleagues, you developed the application store. Why did you develop an in-car store instead of, nowadays already every driver, every customer can connect their smartphone with the car to mirror it via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So why is it so important to have an own in-car store?
Yeah, Albert, why did we do that again? So this is really a game changer for us, because the way that we can actually bring applications to the car now in a really seamless way that's integrated into the vehicle, that people can just get into the car, turn it on, and you have all those great services available at your fingertips. So that's really exciting. It's first of all great with HARMAN to be able to launch this and to announce it today, with Audi as the first car company that will actually deploy the store, and then to have great partners that will actually be on the platform among many others, and all the categories that also bring that experience to life. So we have music, gaming, we have video streaming, we have productivity, we have weather, we have all these things that people can now enjoy and leave their phones in the pocket and just basically embrace that, what we're able to offer through the application store now. So, great day today.
Albert, I heard that there were already several attempts to establish an application store, an in-car application store. So how will HARMAN make the difference now?
I think that what we're going to do, we're going to focus on working on standard Android automotive apps, because that's the only way we allow the content providers to scale. So the ultimate goal is for us to enable the content providers, the third-party app developers, to develop an application once and truly be able to deploy it on many cars, many models, many OEMs. That's the way that this whole industry is going to be able to scale.
Okay, so let's jump to the apps.
Yeah.
Tyler, your company has developed an in-car app. So why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, great question. We really think that now is the perfect time to pay close attention to automotive as a platform. We think the advances in connectivity, the way that autonomy is beginning to advance, makes it the perfect time to spend time with auto as a platform. The weather is becoming more and more unpredictable, and the weather can impact driver safety, comfort, vehicle performance. And so the app that we wanted to create really thinks about translating weather conditions for the driver and not reflecting what they can see out their own window, but what can't they see? Weather conditions along their route, at a destination, hidden hazards like black ice, which our APIs can report on. So we think it's a fantastic opportunity and have really enjoyed the partnership that we've had with CARIAD and HARMAN, and are very excited about additional things that we'll be bringing to market together.
Yeah, that sounds good for the drivers. So Mithun, what about your company? You also developed the in-car application with Webex. So how can drivers benefit from that one?
We all know that hybrid work is here to stay. We work from offices few days, we work from home few days, and we take meetings while we are commuting, audio meetings while we are commuting. So the goal for Webex is to empower its customers to have a seamless and frictionless experience, whether they are working from home, whether they are working from their mobile devices, or now whether they want to work from their car when the cars are stopped or when the cars are parked in the parking lots. So we want to transform your Audi cars into your personal conference rooms when they are parked. And I think with large screens, with amazing audio systems, with very high computing powers coming in these cars, we are super excited to partner with Audi, CARIAD, and HARMAN's Ignite store to bring this amazing collaboration experience to the car when the cars are parked. And with Albert's help, with all the heavy lifting done by them for the developer platform, we are thrilled to be part of this journey with the team members here.
Okay, so Björn, do you think Webex is an interesting application for your customers?
Yeah, for sure. So for us, it's really a perfect fit. I mean, a lot of Audi customers do some part, at least, of their business in the car. So they like to work there. They like to do things there. So therefore, an integration of Webex is perfectly fitting into that scheme, enabling our customers really to have a convenient, safe way to attend online meetings while on the go or while at a charging stop. So just a perfect fit.
Okay, so if I imagine I'm sitting in a car, it's transforming into my personal conference room. So one question about that, there's a lot of noise while driving, the traffic, when I'm at the airport, sirens, honking. So won't it be difficult for me as a driver to listen to a conference?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. So Webex is going to bring its AI capabilities, its audio and video AI capabilities to the Audi cars it is going to provide a magical experience because of its noise cancellation technology. So even if you are sitting at an office parking lot or you are in the airport parking lot, I have taken a meeting before heading to a flight. So even if there are sirens, there is aeroplanes flying above, because of the AI capabilities of the Webex, you will have an amazing experience with all the remote attendees not able to hear anything, no background noise in the meeting. So that's the power of Webex we are bringing to Audi cars and to CARIAD and HARMAN App Store.
Okay.
Thank you for that question.
Yeah. And so normally, when I use Webex, I have the video, but the video distracts the driver, right? So how do you solve this?
Oh, that's an excellent question. So Webex for cars has been designed with safety-first principle. The video collaboration will be completely disabled when the car is moving. The video collaboration is only enabled when the car is parked so that there is no driver distraction. When the car is moving and you are joining a meeting, it will be as if you are talking to your family members over a Bluetooth call. So it's an audio-only meeting when the cars are moving. So we have designed this experience with safety first. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so you say safety first. How about you and your company and your app, Tyler? Safety is also important for you. What are you doing? Is there also any difference between using the weather channel while driving or while parking?
Yeah, and I would say for any app developers, and one of the great things about the platform is if you're developing on Android today, the ability to bring your application into the car, technically, a lot of barriers are removed. And app developers really need to think about the unique experiences and the unique user needs that happen in the vehicles, and driver distraction is obviously one of those key issues. So in designing our application, we have completely different modes when the driver is parked versus drive, similar to what Webex has done to enhance safety. For example, it's possible when you're parked to see a full radar map, to put that map into motion and to see over the next several hours how weather will be developing in your area or on your drive. We don't want that moving image that is potentially distracting when the car is in motion, and so it'll show a static radar map, for example. So all across the application, when the car is in motion, we take away a level of detail, any imagery that might be interesting but distracting while driving, and have more sort of icons and large cards and text showing. But in park mode, someone can have a lot richer visualization when they won't be distracted.
Maybe to just add to that, what we feel is great about having something like the App Store is we have this great playground for people to bring in services now. So you can have something while you're driving, which might be audio-based, or like Tyler has described, has sort of a minimal amount of information, which is key to not distract the driver. But then you have this really great opportunity to go onto passenger screens and have video running or play a game while the car is moving, and anything in between. So that's really the great thing, that we're bringing down the hurdles for application providers to come to the platform, but we're also giving a really wide range of use cases to the people who are actually sitting in our cars now. So that's great.
Yeah, I'm already quite impressed about the use case, because I know the weather channel. Normally I just see, okay, for one city I can see the weather, but there are much more use cases then. So maybe you can give another example. So when I'm here in Barcelona, I want to drive to Madrid. So how can I use the app?
Yeah, it's possible to, of course, view the location of the vehicle. It's also possible to enter a second location that could be something like a destination like Madrid. And in what we call our trip view radar, it's then possible to have both your current location and where you're headed up on the map. And if there were bad weather in the area, you would be able to see specifically where your vehicle or route would intersect the storm that's emerging, for example, which could then just help inform you as a driver if you could choose a different route, delay your trip, or you might be comfortable proceeding and just be more ready for that weather.
Sounds good. So I know what to wear and if I need an umbrella or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, both seem to be apps that are useful for Audi drivers. What do you think? What else is of interest for Audi drivers? What do they expect in an application store?
Yeah, so as Sven mentioned, I guess it's variety. It's very pretty much about variety. So we need a broad offering because it is very individual, right? So there is no customer like the other. So everybody has its personal preferences, personal apps, personal services. So it is all about variety. But when it comes to, I would say, maybe the top, beside productivity is very important, and mobility use cases, it's probably entertainment. Entertainment is already very relevant, so think about audio streaming apps, so that this is really important for our customers, and it's getting more and more important as we are moving in. I mean, you know, we have a clear strategy towards electrification, and when you're driving a battery electric vehicle, especially on long roads, you have to do your occasional charging stop. And what do you do? So there are completely new scenarios for our customers where they spend time in the vehicle and can, for instance, experience more video content related stuff, or also going in the direction of gaming, when you already mentioned that. So those are probably the areas we see a lot of growth in the near future as well, right? So where people are getting more used to engaging that content also inside of a vehicle.
So Björn will do a Webex call when you're parked and waiting for it to charge, and I'll play a game.
Yeah,
so that's the difference.
While I'm doing the Webex call, I'll be game.
Exactly.
Okay, so you mentioned some categories. Yes. So Sven, can you give us more examples? What apps exactly will be there?
I mean, like I said, the great thing about an open ecosystem like this is that we can basically open the floor to app developers, making it easy for them to join the platform and then also develop on the use cases and the things that matter to them in terms of experiencing the service at hand. So we have things like gaming, we have video, we have music streaming, we have productivity, we have weather and productivity together. We have things that will allow people to enjoy basically the time they spend in a car very, very differently from that point on.
Can you give some examples?
Yeah, so happy to have guys like Spotify on board. Amazon Music is partnering with us. We have FRVR, who's a gaming hub, bringing a whole lot of games that are lots of fun to play in the vehicle. We have navigation and parking providers like ParkWiz or Sygic. So the list goes on and on and on. TikTok, which is fun for the younger generation. I think I'm not a heavy TikTok user, or I wouldn't classify as one. But that's all the cool stuff that you can get in an Audi from July onwards. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're hearing there's it's a really broad range of apps. So Albert, how do you help an app developer to get on the platform, to get into the Ignite store?
Well, there's two segments. There's like a set of apps where there are clear definitions in place as to how that particular application is consumed in the car. So for those, we do the traditional things. We have a portal. We do have a emulator that we allow the content providers to develop their apps, test it. They submit those apps. We have a automated test process that goes and from a certification perspective, looks for issues, potential issues that we have with our OEM partners. So we help on that certification journey with the partners. There's also, you have two examples over here of content providers that are not established yet on automotive. And our approach is that we want to really work with innovative third-party app developers that want to get into automotive, that understand okay, what are the user benefits, and we help with them come up with the right templates, the right structure, the right framework hooks for them to be able to deliver safe and sound experiences in the car. And it's been a pleasure to work with the Weather Channel and with and Cisco in just understanding these node domains and see how we can solve these problems and bring these applications to life.
Okay, so you just mentioned you want to have innovative app providers on your platform, in your store. So if you hear of a new innovation, what do you think? How long does it take to get that innovation into the store and then into the car?
Yeah, this is something that's a big change in the industry. It used to be that if there was a third-party content provider that had an app, it would take him years to develop that app. And then once they had the app, it was very hard for them to iterate and come up with new versions of it. And that simply was just not acceptable, because today, when you look at third-party app developers, mobile is one of the vectors. They want to make sure that their experiences on the mobile phone, in the car, on the computer, they're all consistent. So they have to have that mechanism to keep everything in sync. So our target is that from the moment that an app shows up at our doorstep, we will take 3 weeks to make that application available on our catalog, and we have SLAs with our content provider as to how long we want us to brood as to be able to put that app on a car, because the content providers are asking for it. The third-party developers, they don't want to wait months. To do that, it's going to be a matter of weeks to get that done.
Of weeks? So of how many weeks?
Well, it's like our target right now is 3.
3,
right?
okay.
3 weeks.
Yeah, that's quite fast.
And maybe to add, it's not just only that the cycle of having an app ready and then bringing it into the vehicle, which is a huge paradigm shift because it's cloud-based, the vehicle is OTA, so over-the-air updatable, and you can actually have a completely different experience over the vehicle's lifetime. But it's also that we're seeing smaller companies, not just the big brands like you guys and some of the others I named, but like really cool applications that are taking the automotive use case and saying, hey, I'm in a moving thing. I can bring in contextual information like gamification, trivia games to when you drive through a city, or things that you basically get shown around a sightseeing tour. So we have some great examples over at the HARMAN booth if you're looking at the store later on of people who are bringing in these ideas, and we're basically giving them a really easy way to bring that into our cars.
Yeah. So Tyler and Mithun, you already made that experience to bring your apps in the in-car store. What would you, or which advice would you give to new developers of some smart startup apps, providers? What can you recommend them? How did you experience that process?
I truly think this is the iPhone moment for the automotive industry. It's with the power of CARIAD and HARMAN, we are building a big ecosystem here, and everybody can participate. And last decade was decade of smartphones and connecting people. I think this is one of the things that will be talked about for years to come will be software-defined vehicles. I think this will be one of the next big things. And with the power of CARIAD and HARMAN App Store, they've made it easy for companies of all sizes to participate in this generational opportunity, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think it's 3 things. The first thing is, if a developer today has an Android application, there's an asset that they can leverage in this entirely new environment. So to think about that. Secondly, as we've said, though, think about your users, think about the fact that it is a different use case in the car. In our app, for example, we try and translate a lot of data into things that will be relevant for someone as a driver. And then the third thing is to really unbound your imagination. In the case of weather, weather potentially can impact so much in a vehicle, particularly with EV vehicles, performance, and any number of things. And with CARIAD, with HARMAN, we've got a number of forward-looking use cases, which are things that we never would have considered, but really a tremendous opportunity of new value we can bring to the driver, to the consumer. So leverage what you have today, think about the driver, but get creative and recognize that there's a lot of additional value by virtue of being in vehicles that you can potentially provide.
And I guess what's also interesting for the developers, or what they aim for, is obviously scale, right? So it's always important to be able to scale, and we will also support that with a very progressive launch. So it's not just like any launch that we do. So within 1 year, so end of the year, we will have most of the Audi models in the lineup enabled with the App Store. So it will be an optional equipment. Customers will be able to purchase it for most of the cars that we have already in the market. And we will also scale on an international level very quickly. So we are starting in Europe. We will be very quickly following up with the US and Canada. And we will also include international markets as well until the end of the year. So by then, I guess we have pretty much scaled pretty well. And we will be able to attract a lot of app developers that are aiming for scale.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So we heard a lot about the ecosystem. So Sven, what do you think, to sum it up? It's quite a big step for all of us, right?
I mean, from CARIAD side, CARIAD is the powerhouse when it comes to software within the Volkswagen Group. And it's great to see the light of day with Audi, with our partners from HARMAN and our app partners. We are in this year of delivery, as we call it, from CARIAD side. So we're really trying to bring that next level experience to the entire Volkswagen Group, and the App Store is a great starting point to achieve that. And I think everyone is benefiting from that development. The app developers, we as companies trying to make our lives easier in terms of consolidation and making something available through the entire Volkswagen Group, and one app serves all. And then, of course, also what Björn correctly said, customer first, to the people who drive our cars or sit in them and enjoy all that wealth of content and all those great new use cases that are coming through the App Store. So we're super proud, super happy that we can actually now deliver.